Hello, and welcome to a brief demonstration of Final Cut Synergy, a unique workflow in Final Cut Pro that emulates project sharing on Avid Unity. It all starts with the Final Cut Synergy window, a modified Finder window that contains a toolbar of buttons that the editors can click in order to follow the workflow. If you want to create a new project, click the New Project button. Just as in Avid, you will be prompted to name the project, then click a button. Also like Avid, the first bin is created automatically, which you can name and then click Continue or press Enter on your keyboard. Even as Final Cut Pro launches, a simplified Finder window appears with the name of our project. Inside the window is a project file named after our first bin. In fact, this is the first part of the paradigm that makes project sharing in Final Cut Pro possible. We're going to redefine and utilize Final Cut Pro projects as individual bins. So if this is the bin, then what's the project? To answer that question, I'm going to simply resize the browser window, then drag the window down to reveal the Finder window created by Final Cut Synergy. We now have the equivalent of an Avid project folder. But where the Avid project folder is a mirror of the Avid project window, with an explicit Avid bin file for each Avid bin in the project window, the Final Cut Synergy project folder literally is the project window, with our redefined bin inside it. To create another bin, simply click the button in the upper right corner of the window to reveal the toolbar, and then click New Bin. As in Avid, you have a chance to name the bin, and it automatically appears in the project window, as well as becoming a project tab in the browser. Tabbed projects, or bins in the browser, are a lot like Avid's superbins. But if you want to resize the interface and tear the tabs away from the browser, you can work just as you do in Avid, with a separate window for each bin. As in Avid Unity, there is a column in the project window that lists the username of the editor who has write access to the bin. If you want to brand a bin as your own, simply select it and click the User Stamp button, and the OS X short name of the currently logged in user is stamped into the comments column. Color labels can be used to indicate the status of a bin, such as In Progress for an editor's sequences bin. While ingesting media, an assistant can label a bin with the Capture Ingest label. Then, change the status to Online, Ready for Review once all the clips are ready for editing or review by a producer. So now when another editor wants to share the same project, he or she can simply open the project folder on the desktop and begin to work. Let's say Neil is going to cut a promo for the project. As in Avid, he can click the New Bin button, name it, click Continue, and the bin will appear instantly in the project window. If Final Cut Pro is not already open, clicking the New Bin button launches it automatically, opening the bin into the browser in the process. By closing the toolbar on the sidebar of the project window, you can simplify it so only the relevant information of the status label and user stamp can be seen. If you need to use one of the tools, simply reopen the toolbar and click a button. Notice that when Neil clicks the user stamp button, his OS X short name is stamped, not Steve-O's. To notify other editors that the project is in progress, a status label can be chosen from the contextual shortcut menu, accessed with a right click of the mouse. Once an editor has opened a bin, not only can they create their own sequences and sub-bins, just as in Avid, they can open another user's bins by double-clicking an icon in the project window. Final Cut's default is to open bins as tabs in the browser, but the editors can always rearrange the windows however they want. Most importantly, as in Unity, when you attempt to save another editor's bin, you will see that the bin is locked. As in the Unity workflow, you can simply copy sequences from other editors' bins to your own bin, and then close the other editor's bin without saving it. When it comes time to ingest material, Neil can create a new bin for that purpose. Once material has been ingested and the project saved, other editors can access that material the same way they do in a shared Avid project, by double-clicking the bin to open it. Once open, they will have access to all the clips and sequences since the last time the bin was saved, whereupon they can copy clips and sequences to their own bins, or begin editing right away using clips from the capture bin. Just because you can't save the bin doesn't mean you can't use the material inside it, just like in Avid Unity. If Neil decides to change the status of a bin, say adding a user stamp for example, or changing the status label, the other editors will instantly see those changes in their project window. Conversely, if another editor decides to change the status label of her bin, Neil's project window will update, offering editors the long sought-after ability to communicate without the pesky annoyance of having to actually talk to one another. To clear status labels and comments in one simple action, click the Clear Attributes button to clear both columns. Another option users may want to take advantage of is to expand a Final Cut Synergy window to its full size and drag it down to the bottom of the display, creating a dock of sorts, where the full toolbar can be accessed. User settings, which Avid calls user profiles, can be backed up or loaded with the click of a button. Once settings have been backed up to the Synergy User Profiles vault, clicking Load Profile installs the Final Cut Pro plist file and the appropriate Final Cut Pro user data settings and folders to the local machine's preferences folder. When it comes time to finish the show, the Archive Show action gathers together all of the project bins and zips them into an archive stored in the Synergy Archive folder. We've just scratched the surface of Final Cut Synergy. The automations that simplify the workflow are customizable, so they can utilize existing SAN folder structures. The toolbar itself can be customized by each user with drag and drop ease. You can even add actions not shown in this toolbar, such as copy and move media management operations that copy media and add comment or status label metadata. Then, using Spotlight or the Find command in the Finder, users can search the SAN much as they might search using features in Final Cut Server. For example, searching labels for any bin marked Approved. By saving the searches as smart searches, producers, supervisors, and managers can easily monitor editor progress with the click of a button. The Final Cut Synergy workflow allows users to take advantage of Finder-level options like Spotlight searches, resizable icons, and Quick Look to find and preview material.
The good news about the women in the Senate as well, by the way.
And because Final Cut Pro is QuickTime-based, the media files in the Finder can immediately be loaded into FCP's interface for editing, turning the entire SAN into one gigantic superbin.
Good news about the women in the Senate as well, by the way.
Blurring the line between the operating system and the editing application until it's virtually non-existent. I hope you enjoyed the overview of Final Cut Synergy. I'm Steve Cantor. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in learning more about Final Cut Synergy, you can contact me at steve@editdog.net or at www.editdog.net.